With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick the Hitman Hellman.
I'm Todd the Todd Father Butterfield.
There we go.
Shout out to Anthony. Happy birthday to Rossano.
There we go. That's what I like to see. Obviously,
Hobby.
Today is another Zen Cash giveaway. So we will be giving away Zen Cash from the live show from yesterday. So if you want to run over to that video, throw a comment in the comment section with your Zen address, you will be eligible. But don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below after this video has been posted with your Zen address for a chance to win. All you got to do is that, smash the like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and just continue to be active community members here at Learn Crypto. We're going to talk about a few things. Obviously, the market is continuing to bleed. Altcoins are setting all new lows on some of the weaker ones, but we're here to stay. Some of the projects we continue to talk about in this show actually are outperforming some of the other alts. Not Bitcoin, but some of the other alts. And let's hop right into it. Let's see what cryptocurrency market caps got in store for us today. Market cap is currently at $267.5 billion, and the Bitcoin dominance continues to inch higher, up to 48.7%. If you remember, about a week ago, I said I could see Bitcoin dominance getting to around 50%. It was about 70% last summer, but I just don't see that happening since the fundamentals are so strong on several projects and since there are so many more small microcap coins and ICOs in the market. But I do believe Bitcoin dominance will hit 50% before we really have any kind of alt run here. So what's going on? Bitcoin is pretty flat for the day. 7,573. That is not what we're liking to see. We broke past that 7660. But could not hold it on the retracement, and now we are back in this little bit of range we've been here for the past few days. Everything else is pretty sideways. You know, Tether's green. That's never a good sign. Any big winners for today? We got Dropple, Chainlink, and Emmercoin, and Odom. Don't know much about any of those. Don't own any of those. I do know some about Chainlink, but congratulations if you guys hold those. Do what you wish with that. Binance Coin is back down to $14. It was down to like $13.95, I believe, earlier today. So you could have had a chance to do a little quick swing trade on that, as that was the big winner from yesterday's show. Let's look at the top 200. Maybe make ourselves feel a little better with some green here.
Shout out to Javi, the tummy tickler Alvarez in this corner.
Safe Exchange up 40%. 40% only off $294,000. So if you are an older owner of Safe Exchange, you know what I would be doing. Ladder out of that bad boy, take some profits, maybe hold on to 25% of your coins in case it goes higher. But with the overall market sentiment, thank me later. All right, let's throw it over to Todd. Let's take a look at the charts before we get into some pretty interesting articles here in a second, so don't go anywhere.
Let's go to the split screen first. I got a little bit of news here I got to give.
What's this?
To you and I, yeah, because we got to talk about this. This is important news right here. Sad news. This is coming from Elliott Wave. Shout out to them. A certain Nobel laureate economist of some renown who writes a column for the New York Times recently wrote that Bitcoin and the crypto markets generally have set the monetary system back 300 years. He also predicted its eventual demise. Oh. So you got to take that as pretty negative.
That's pretty bold.
We might want to liquidate everything. So I took all PCG clients to cash.
Oh, all of them gone.
Okay. Well, no, there's one more sentence here.
Oh.
Some years back, the same economist also predicted the end of the internet during the dot-com crash. So maybe it's a contrarian sign the crypto bear market could be ending.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So triple your bags.
Triple them bags.
Buy more of everything.
Time to buy now. A guy that predicted that the internet was going to go to zero now is saying that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to zero. That is a better buy signal than CNBC Fast Money, and I never thought that would happen.
Dang. Hate to make fun of that dude, but jeez. That's horrible. Okay, hold on here. Bitcoin last night, as you know, we made what I thought was a fourth wave with the ending diagonal, and we had a nice rally off of there. We did come down, tested deep, and then have gone to sleep. So I don't know much to say. Not much more to add. I mean, as usual, it looks like a bear flag for lower prices.
Are you trying to be Dr. Seuss today?
But I don't know.
The measured move is going deep, and now they're going to sleep or something like that.
So it looks like we got another leg down, but then again, be careful with that because that seems to happen and catch the shorts. So I'm still saying things are looking friendly here, even though these alts are continuing to bleed. I try to trade off the general market. That's kind of the Wyckoff method. I mean, Bitcoin still looks to me like it's doing well. So, and a few of the alts we mentioned still are doing okay. Charts don't look too bad. And then there's a lot here really bleeding out. So I'm hoping the alts can just put in a low here and then Bitcoin can lead us back higher is what I would hope for.
And we're still saying we really need to hold that 6,800 to 7,200 level. Otherwise, things might get sticky if we break below that 6,800.
I mean, here is Classic, as you know, fell down to 1460. I don't have that many windows open. So that's broken down support, but after making a low at 12, I guess still not horrible action. And there's Ethereum back down to the 400 level, which is not good. It had a 350 before. I'd mentioned it that possibly this was a wave 4 here, and we need a overlapping wave 5 down, which would mean still we could bottom here, have a quick rally, and then make another minor new low below 400, which would maybe call the correction over. So Litecoin still holding that 76 level, which we tried to call the wave 2. It's stubbornly holding that level, so might be a little bit of good news. Probably need to zero in a little bit more to see some of these things. I mean, we just keep making minor lows, but we never give up the ghost there yet. Neo at 28.
Oof.
Is not cool.
That's killing me. Somebody said Neo feels like a huge steal right now. Well, you know, I like Neo, and the fact that it does provide residual income in generating gas. And they've had a lot of AMAs. They got a lot of hackathons going on soon. They got a lot of dApps being built on top of it. And in general, I think the Chinese government is going to end up being crypto friendly. And obviously, Neo is homebred, so I think that they will support that blockchain. So I think moving forward, it's a solid protocol token to be in, and one that you should probably own in that sector as well.
I mean, I changed the count here on Neo the other day, showing that was a triangle. This was a 1-2. So again, for Elliott Wave, this could be a 3-4, and we're putting in the 5, or this could be the 3, maybe ending here, sideways to higher to back to 30, 31, and then another new low. So if some of these alts, if this count would be correct, that means the alts then are coming into a low, which would be ideal with them Bitcoin, basically just holding up extremely well and just coming under a little bit of pressure. So and then everything moves up higher together. So that would be the hope. We'll see if that happens. There's Ripple, ran up above 46, back down to the 43 level once again. Looking down at the lows where it's been setting. ADA back to 13. I mean, so what that would mean is kind of some of these other alts are a little bit stronger is still this was kind of a wave 4 ending here, and they're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s down. They're just not going to go to new lows. So still some of these strong ones would still be the strongest. So let's try that was CBC. There's BAT, still kind of holding in pretty well.
Show me the money.
What was that pump on
Whoa.
CVC? I saw that.
Javier Suarez, shout out for the $5 super chat. Welcome to the channel. Earn that wrench. He says ETC is the original Ethereum blockchain and backed by IOHK. Such a clear winner. I did reply to you already, but you should definitely go to our YouTube homepage, go to the interview section, and check out the Ethereum Classic interview and the Charles Hoskinson interview I did. They talk pretty positively about ETC. It's a direction moving forward, and I think you'll like both of those interviews. Thanks again for the super chat. That's what keeps us coming back here each and every day and helps us continue to provide the best information.
What up, dude? That's too funny. Okay, what else? Made, I mentioned Cook come down to 40, and I'd like it there. Well, we did spike on some volume, clear down below 36. So let's see if that ends the selling there.
Real quick, we got another new person in here. Parker saying that he wants to throw in some EOS analysis, Todd. Fellow St. Louis in here.
Whoa.
Look at that. If we ever have a local meetup, Parker, you better be there.
Where was that at?
EOS, it's about almost up towards the top.
What's going on, Parker? Then let's look at XLM USD down 6%, holding in like a champ. Keep saying I would think that's got some upside coming. Z Classic holding in after its maybe little minor jump and pullback. ZEC, nothing great there, but still holding in.
Go back to ZCL real quick, and then we got to talk about EOS for this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to EOS for sure.
Go to ZCL.
That was my favorite one last night.
So I've been doing a little more research on the fork that is kind of providing some of this price action.
Fork, no.
It's going to be Bitcoin Anonymous or something like that. And it is kind of interesting, and I think I'm going to dig deeper. Now, I don't know if I'm going to buy at these price points with the current market sentiment, but I think if it drops down to anywhere between $10 to $12, I might be interested in buying it. And the only reason I would buy it is, number one, I think that we might be able to see a price spike off this, but if you own 100 of the Bitcoin Anonymous at the time or after the snapshot, so if you own 100 ZCL, they are going to have a master nodes on their network. These master nodes are going to earn a large percentage of the block rewards, and you only need about 100. Now, I don't know how much money you guys have, how much you don't. Currently, that would cost you about $1,300 in order to solidify a master node for that network. And if I can do that at a reasonable price, I think that's another reason I would take a chance. I'm going to take a chance on a pump. If the pump doesn't happen, I'm going to rely on the master-node rewards by getting 100 anonymous tokens to be able to offset that risk there. So that's my opinion. I did a little research last night. I know I told you I would. I'm going to continue to dig deeper, and I think if it falls down just a few dollars more, then I'll be looking at an entry possibly into Z Classic.
Definitely, Parker. If you want me to come through the crypto event, no doubt. A few we've seen here before that we went to, just there wasn't much with it. No real, just wasn't a lot of teaching or anything. But yeah, if you want me there, let me know. I'll definitely come by. There's ZEN at 25, down 4.5%. Wait for it to load. I mean, this kind of looked like an overlapping 5 waves up on Elliott Wave. That reminds me, crypto software, they said they did do the server work. They had issue with Coin API bringing in everything. It kind of locked up on them because they were bringing a lot of data, but they felt like they'd get that fixed. So it's like midnight over there. I'm hoping tomorrow we have some issues fixed. But I think ZEN, I mentioned if it come back down here, maybe take out this 24 level, I'd buy that spring. I would still do that. Or already own it. And there's ZRX holding that $1.05. It has came down below there now. Down 10 cents. But I think that's still a strong one. Then EOS, I was saying you could probably buy it last night. Use a stop at the low. We was buying it, I think, around 7.14 or something. That's where it was when we went live. I mean, if everyone's looking once again at reverse head and shoulders, maybe. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that. I can't say much about volume. And then you got the 15-minute. Because yesterday we spiked off the low at 680. We did come down and do a 690. Testing the lows. We're still holding up here at 703. So, again, chart doesn't look very impulsive. But I guess give it the benefit of the doubt.
Sweet. Well, let me steal this. We'll come back to the charts here in a second. So, leading with the EOS as well, obviously a lot of you know, but we did do an interview, one with EOS Detroit. This is more of a high-level thinking on EOS and what they have going on. And then we did one with the actual one of the 21 block producers, Cypherglass. And this is more of a quick, concise overview of EOS, what their plan is as a block producer. And I kind of asked him if he thinks that creates centralization. So if you want a little better opinion on EOS, not from a charts perspective, but from a fundamental perspective, I would watch both of those interviews. All right, so you guys may have not heard the cryptos are going down the tube right now, but Apple is now a $1 trillion company. Yes, Apple stock broke $207 to make it worth $1 trillion. Now, why did I want to bring this up? Well, I own some Apple stock. Maybe you guys do too, so that's great. But the real reason I want to bring it up is because I think this puts in perspective just how small cryptocurrencies are as a whole ecosystem. The entire ecosystem of cryptocurrencies, that's 1,600, 2,000 projects, including our beloved Bitcoin, is worth 25% of one sole company. One company in Apple. That's pretty crazy. Just keep in mind, you got to look at the bigger picture. So who was it? One of the co-founders of Apple sold his shares for a mere $800, what now would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That's crazy. I mean, I know these short-term volatilities suck, but if you believe in the space and believe, just keep dollar cost averaging in. If the price continues lower, try to make good trades, but just continue to reduce your cost basis on the projects that you love. Apple, one sole company, now worth 4 times as much as the entire cryptocurrency market, which is a global phenomenon. Here's another way to perspective. This guy on Twitter says, congrats to Apple on hitting a new high, only when priced in the Fed's debased and probably obsolete fiat currency. Meanwhile, here's Apple's priced in Bitcoin. It's kind of interesting to look at this and get this perspective. When you compare Apple to XBT, to Bitcoin chart, it has been flat since 2012. That means Bitcoin has almost been outperforming Apple over the course of those many years. Well, really it has, but he goes on to say, think about it. If we're going to start giving out awards for companies hitting arbitrary numbers when priced in made-up printed money, Apple's market cap is 167 quintillion bolivars. Just comparing it to another fiat currency that has failed, obviously, if it's worth that much. I just think it's interesting. You need to gather perspective for 2 reasons. Number one, how small this crypto space is and the massive amount of potential. We can be very well looking at the next Apples, Microsofts, Googles, and Netflix here every day. So no matter what, these things are draining out, but keep positive, guys, because positivity is going to generate you to be more active, watching YouTube shows, doing research, buying coins you like, mining, staking, whatever it is, and it's going to keep you in this space. You don't want to be one of those like the guy who sold his 10% stake in Apple for $800 and then be looking back and be like, man, I spent all that time on YouTube with those stupid Learn Crypto guys, and I'm sitting here broke with $800. You don't want to do that. And this guy had a nice write-up just talking about how the inflation rate with fiat kind of overemphasizes the value of some of these traditional companies. I think it's about time for our Zen Cash giveaway. What do you guys think? Let's do it. We're going to the live show from yesterday. Sweet. No comments for review. 98 comments. All right, all right. Let's copy this. $85 unique comments. Who is ready for some Zencash? Do you guys think you're going to win? Are you going to be the winner? Let's see. Let's start it up. And the winner is going to be of one full Zencash, currently valued around $25 or $24. Leon Flatley. The Bulls are coming. Winky face. Shout out to you. I will send you that Zencash right after the show, man. And if you guys want to make money that easy, make some cryptocurrency, all you got to do is leave a comment in the comment section below with your Zencash wallet address. Smash that like, smash that subscribe, and go head over to Zencash's Twitter. Check out the project. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You obviously know I got a lot of money in Zencash. I'm currently running a super node, at least a super node, and I believe in the longevity of that project with their partnerships with IOHK, etc., etc. We talk about it all the time, so I don't got to talk about it now. What's going on over here in
Let me have that chart for a second. I want to show Square.
That thing's been blasting off.
Yeah, interesting. June 27th, down here is when Bitcoin bottomed. Square had a nice sell-off coming down into there. You will see our technometer finally got to oversold the exact day. which was kind of cool if you was trying to buy some Bitcoin down there. Square, I know it was 61 that day because I was watching it. And then 4 days ago, it came down, the technometer was 38.71, which was just fraction away from being oversold. So, and that was around 65, 66. And today it rocket ships based on its Bitcoin news. So that one's interesting. And then we're going to try to add a few more of these once in a while. Here's Overstock. This was a Bitcoin low. So this chart is looking a lot more like Bitcoin. Came under a lot of pressure here recently. Did give us a buy here on this day. So we're a little bit lower than that buy. And not much else to say. OP's kind of following. I mean, that was a big up day, a big up thrust. If you look on the longer term, we look like, that was definitely resistance up here at 42. We spiked above it. But we came back almost halfway back, so Overstock might be all right here too then. And then what, Novogratz went live today on the Toronto Stock Exchange with Galaxy.
Yep. That's one we're going to keep our eyes on. If it's available for Schwab, I think I'm going to be putting some of my 401k money into that. I believe that they probably will find success there.
I didn't find out today, but I'm sure that's probably going to be available at Schwab. So, because I believe that was done, they did a private placement at $5, right, like December when everything was topping out. And then today it opened at $2.75, traded down to $1.98, I think it was.
Shout out to Yakusabi, man. Sorry, your name went by fast. If I mispronounced it, shout out to you.
So I think Galaxy, if you want to take a flyer on a stock, that might be the one. Novogratz might get something figured out there, and you're not buying it. It's not been fluffed up. It's been a lot of the fluff taken out of it. So that one might be good here.
Sweet. You got a couple more charts you want to look at? We were going to do a poll. Weren't we going to do a poll? We're doing a poll today. We want you guys to be honest. What was the poll you want to do, Todd? Todd's idea.
Nick's over here running his mouth every night before we go live. So let's do a poll. Who comes here to see Todd? Who comes here to see Nick?
Say Todd or Nick in the chat box. Who do you come here to see? And if you just love us both, put the duo in there in the chat box. Have some fun with it. Be honest. We're just messing around anyways. That's our poll. No price predictions.
No, we're not.
Who do you come to see? Todd or Nick?
It's everyone comes for the Todd father. Bitcoin 75.60, nothing to talk about. I don't see much to talk about.
While you guys are doing that, make sure to check out. You can use course code.
Smoggin, what's up? I don't know Smoggin Woggin, do I? That's funny. We're good together. I'm just better. That's all.
You guys are awesome. So with that being said, remember you can use the code 20DOGDAY here to receive 20% off our cryptocurrency and Wyckoff online trading course. Learn the Wyckoff method with over 950 currently enrolled students. Students also will be receiving 50% off our monthly software subscription. That is the proprietary software that you saw there Todd was using on traditional markets. We are actually creating an application for the cryptocurrencies as well. Do you think you're already a really good trader or that doesn't really interest you? Well, go over to learncrypto.io, click right here, and sign up to become an affiliate. Every course that is sold with your custom URL, you will earn between $30 to $50. What better way is there to dollar cost average into these cryptocurrencies than help out Learn Crypto and add some cash into your wallet? So make sure to check that out for us, guys. And if you want some more information, take a look in the description below. So, I've preached. What's going on over here? I guess we got to look at the chat box with all this jazz going on over here.
I think everybody likes us both.
Nod.
A few more people like me a little bit better.
Yeah, it does look like Todd Fathers. But George said Todd Father, but Hitman for the hits, so we're here.
And Craig Nickham comes for the shit on the table. What's up, Craig?
That's hilarious.
We got to get the tickler in here.
Montana says, what's up with ECA? So ECA was set to have that consensus hard fork. It was pushed back, hence the price pressure, plus the whole market's down. Now, their fork, they did just have an AMA. They don't have an official date yet, but they said the fork is coming soon. That is really going to be when all these partnerships ECA has gone out and created are going to fall into effect. They partnered up with an ATM company. They've partnered up with Linda. They've partnered up with Shard. They've partnered up with tons of other cryptocurrency companies and non-cryptocurrencies as well. And the reason that the fork matters so much is they don't want to integrate into these ATMs and platforms until the fork occurs. The fork is going to reduce the block time, so transactions will be faster and cheaper. Also, the fork is going to make it easier for small-scale stakers to earn stake rewards, not just the big whales, as well as atomic swaps and some other really good features. This is one I'm just holding for now, guys. When we did the interview, it was these prices. It went from 9 Satoshis to 40 Satoshis, giving a bunch of opportunities for swing trades, which we talked about here on the show and I talked about on Twitter. So you could have fattened those bags up. And now we are back to break even while everything else is bleeding to almost all-time lows. I think that's pretty solid, and you could have been staking this whole time. So until the partnerships play out and the fork plays out, then if there's not good price actions, until then, this community is still strong. And they actually just won a competition. They won the let's see what they got here. They won the Shard X vote right here. So they get a free listing for this new exchange that is coming up. And I was actually going to do a review on Shard X because they have a proprietary cryptocurrency kind of like BNB and KCS. And I was going to see if this is one that maybe we can get in early. Kind of like I said, hey guys, you might want to look into co-vesting. Let's see what this has to offer. And I know that 4 or 5 coins have already won competitions to be listed for free, and Electra just won one today. So shout out to them. That would be really big. Obviously, right now they're only on Cryptopia. They need to get on more exchanges if we're really going to see the price action and adoption that we like to see on these cryptos.
I was going to say, Johnny Cool, if you want IQ on the stock side, I will add that to my system when we get done tonight so we can talk about it tomorrow night then. If anybody has any stocks they like looking at, anything also associated with cryptos, give me those symbols, and we'll go over those real quickly on here. Because guys, understand the software on the stock side, I spent $25,000, I'm going to say $30,000 getting it working. It works like a charm. And then when we went to the cryptos, I thought that would work easily. I spent $12,000 on that. And bar chart really took us down the wrong road. And I didn't realize that for a while. And then now it's just 89 exchanges. The developers are just dealing with all that. But I'm going to say we're finally, I showed it last few weeks working on the daily, showing the consolidated volume, but I need the intraday. And people are giving me a ton of shit, not talking about Wyckoff on here when I own the Institute. And I've explained that over and over, but obviously new people don't hear it, is that Wyckoff, even if you listen to our Who's Wyckoff little cartoon that we made, Wyckoff brought in volume and intraday studies into the markets. There's no way you've had that in cryptos to even talk about because there's too many exchanges. No one had it intraday. So I have tried from, my God, December to get that and cut a lot of shit over it, but I'm going to have it. And I think it's going to give us some good trades. So that's all I can say. I think it's going to help us immensely. It's going to put the odds in our favor. And, we'll have a good 10 years messing with it.
Javier Alvarez says, hey, Nick, what's up with the Northern Trust news? Just saw it. Have you heard anything? We actually talked a lot about that in the yesterday's live show, so I definitely rewatched that. But in summary, for everybody who's new here, I heard a couple more subscribers pop up on the screen. Shout out to you. I think that Northern Trust is one of the biggest buy signals of 2018. And the reason being is not only are they working with 3 hedge funds, which are going to be large hedge funds. That's great. The more hedge funds we get into the space, hedge fund managers have been getting a bad rap the past few years, so they want to do anything they can to capture some gains. Crypto could be that outlet. But the biggest thing is Northern Trust is one of the most notable and recognized, generational wealth management companies that there are. And I really believe with Northern Trust moving into this crypto ecosystem with the hedge funds, they are going to set up their own custodian, kind of like we see with Coinbase custody. What this allows is the institutional inflow of money, which Coinbase is already getting. But when these institutions see a recognizable name like Northern Trust, that is when they will feel safe, secure, and that this is an asset class that is going to be around to stay. They don't know who Coinbase is. That's a pop-up, new company, startup company. Yes, they're worth a ton of money now, but as far as historical wealth and traditional recognizable trusted names, Northern Trust is at the top of that list. On a daily basis, I have to log into Northern Trust portals to pull market value statements for various clients for the institutional financial advisor I work for. Hopefully, Bitcoin and some of these cryptocurrencies will be on that portal soon. And if they become a custodian, oh my gosh, the amount of money that will feel safe entering this asset class will be off the chain.
And they're going to come in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% at a time. But that's just a lot of money. And I think, everyone's saying that. Everybody, like the Nova Gratzes and the Tom Lees and Bill Millers and all the, those guys are all saying that. So I think that's coming.
Sweet. Thanks for that, Javier. So now you guys know I like XLM Stellar compared to a lot of cryptocurrencies, but compared to its probably biggest competitor in XRP, they do fall in the same sector, and the co-founder, or really the founder of XRP, split off and created XLM. He wanted to redo some of the issues he saw with the value propositions with XRP and make sure those flowed into the XLM token. Now, there's tons of projects starting to pop up on Stellar or will be releasing soon. You're seeing positive price action because it might be listed on Coinbase. Palm Beach Confidential has upgraded it to a long-term HODL, and we got all these projects coming on board. IBM is coming soon, Viridium, StellarX, Stronghold, all of these. The list goes on and on. If you want to look this up, you can just type in Stellar projects and see all these. But the biggest thing is, all the good news surrounding Stellar has contributed to the excellent price performance of XLM in the recent crypto rally, where XLM surged 40%, surpassing Litecoin to take the 6th place in terms of overall market cap for cryptocurrencies. The selection of projects on Stellar is not nearly as exotic as that of Ethereum, but that's okay. Stellar was never trying to be a world computer like Ethereum. It was meant for the outset to be a specialized solution for payments. Trading off some capabilities for applications on the network also has advantages. Relatively simple programming for projects on Stellar also means that there are fewer attack vectors and thus less time needed for security audits. This means that applications built on Stellar Network can be deployed more quickly to the market, and this momentum is apparent in the headlines. I just wanted to bring it up. A lot of people don't know much about Stellar. Its price action was pretty stable before, obviously, the good news. So people's like, what's going on with Stellar? How is it holding these prices with no real news? They've just been kind of flown under the radar. All these projects are already launched or will be launching soon on their platform, biggest of which is IBM, guys. They're already said that their blockchain division is trying to use blockchain solutions to help dozens of private and central banks, especially in the Asian Pacific region, which, a lot of other OMGs targeting that region as well, so they will have some competition. But IBM has the funding, the traditional know-how, and the name recognition that might be able to give XLM and Stellar a head start.
Stellar's been tanking for days, but that chart looks good, so...
If Stellar gets back down to its pre-Coinbase announcement price, so I think that's around 3,000 Satoshis. Don't quote me because I'm just doing off memory, but I think 3,000 sats is where I will be putting an order to try to add some XLM to my position if it gets down there.
M50 Incorporated, I got to reply to that because you're saying we've been hearing about institutional money for nearly a year now. There's been talk about all that, but no real institutional money is coming until we get custody. So
yeah,
it's talk, but it's not. They haven't been flexing any muscles. So we got to have custody, safe custody. And again, I don't think it's even Coinbase as much as it is Northern Trust and these other names, because that's the names that no one has to apologize to their clients that I've got you at Northern Trust. I don't lose my business by doing that.
Yep.
If I put you at Coinbase, something goes wrong, I'm out of business.
Yep.
So.
And that's why I say hedge funds are great because they have the kind of the ability to onboard some big money as well. But, I work for an institutional financial advisor. I work with Northern Trust Portal, Blackstone Portal, a lot of these big names, and none of them have even delved into cryptocurrencies. Northern Trust has taken the lead here with partnering up with these hedge funds. And if one of them become a custodian, Fidelity even, it has to be a big name, then that's when the money can come in. Now, this article that I was about to read is kind of going to explain why the small amount of institutional money that is starting to flow, and we see it in Grayscale, Coinbase Custody, etc., isn't doing enough to really get the price action moving here. So this guy believes that the Bitcoin price won't hit an all-time high this year. It's possible that the Bitcoin price has found a bottom, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's heading for all new all-time high before the end of the year. Deemster lays out the case that 2018 will likely be remembered as an era of growing pains, a time when fair weather investors liquidate their holdings. That's what we're trying to keep you from doing. Don't be left behind in this market. Don't get too cute with it and then be left behind when big players come in and they swoop it up from you guys who've been here for a while. That's how the market cycle works. Retail investors usually don't win. This is your opportunity. Regulators begin to catch up following last year's breakneck ascent and infrastructure development countries to plod along. Now, this is where this comes into play with what we were just talking about. He bases this case on several factors, beginning with the fact that Bitcoin mining landscape is becoming increasingly competitive. Even as the Bitcoin price continues to decline, he estimates that Bitcoin miners have experienced a 90% profitability drop since January and are responsible for a significant amount of sell pressure in the market. We do know the Bitcoin difficulty continues to rise, so not only is the price dropping, so they're earning less profit for winning a block reward, it is harder to get the block reward since the Bitcoin mining difficulty is going up. So they have to sell some of the Bitcoin that they mine in order to keep funding their operation, electricity cost, overhead, employees, etc. While miners are placing heavy sell pressure on the market, neither retail investors nor institutions are providing enough buy-side support to make another record rally a likelihood within the near term. So this is how he is trying to summarize and talk about the price action here. This is why he thinks we're coiling in this range and will remain in the range for the remainder of the year. I really think we have a good chance to turn this around by the end of the year. All it takes is the announcement of the ETF. You're going to get a lot of speculators in the market, and then hopefully the sell pressure from retail investors like us, from FOMO, and also from institutions feeling a little more and more comfortable with that ETF announcement will start moving into the ecosystem. But like we've said all along, we've been saying institutional money is coming. That's what's going to lead us to the promised land. But at the very same time, we said we need a trusted custodian. Coinbase is a trusted custodian for people in the crypto know, like all of us know about Coinbase and trust them. But as far as the big dogs, they don't know Coinbase from another, McDonald's at the corner of the road. So although they are dibbling their feet in there, $10 million minimums, we're talking hundreds of millions, billions of dollars if Fidelity says, hey, we're going to be a custodian. It's going to be on our portal with all of your other assets, and you can generate client performance reports with a click of a button.
Everyone's talking about Stellar now, so I'm going to do a little bit of quick Elliott wave on that. I want to show people this because I'm telling you, sometimes Elliott wave will scare you how well it works. So we had the pink one up and an ABC down. That's a zigzag. And then the next rally up, we had this high here. We had an ABC down. And ABC to new highs is normally in a regular flat. And after that, you look for 5 waves down. So it looks pretty nice. We've had 5 waves down. Now, we could do a little bit of Fibonacci here. It wouldn't hurt for this 5 wave to come down a little bit lower from here. If it's really strong, it might not. But I would think buying XLM anywhere here or lower is an extremely good risk-reward trade. Now, if I could throw that in with the intraday Wyckoff numbers, hopefully tomorrow, if we had a divergence here, then the odds of that, that'd be a trade you want to take. So those are what I'm hoping to do in the future is we get the coins where the odds look like they're in our favor. We got a little bit of Elliott wave maybe on top of the Wyckoff as a confirming, and then put the trade on. And then use some type of risk-reward parameter unless you're just looking to hold XLM longer term. So, because that could be one that still leads us higher. And that chart looks good. So, that's it.
I had a question over here. Somebody said, what happens when all of the Bitcoin is mined? So, when all these proof-of-work currencies, we've had to question this because ones that are getting closer to their total supply being mined, like Electra, where you question it. And what happens is once they are all mined, instead of having a block reward, you are hoping that there is enough utilization of your network generating tax fees that there is enough incentive, like that the miners are incentivized to stay on the network. So you are assuming by year, whatever it's supposed to be, 2100, that, okay, all the Bitcoins are mined, but so many people are using it. There's so many transaction fees going on the network that the miners are still incentivized in order to verify and secure that given network. That is why in the future, if they're not being used, some of these proof of work coins may end up going to zero. Like we said, after maybe 1 or 2 more market cycles, I really believe that a lot of these altcoins are going to head to zero. That money's going to flow back into the winners, into the Apples, the Googles, the Netflix that survived the .com era. There's going to be winners in this ecosystem, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Neo, EOS, Cosmos, whatever it ends up being. There's only going to be a handful. If they're not getting utilized, their network's not getting utilized, miners aren't going to be on there, people aren't going to be using them, and there's not going to be any value there. So keep an eye out for that. That's what happens when the total supply runs out. You're hoping that the utilization can offset that and incentivize those miners to stay on your network.
And I'm going to agree with Todd. She says most of the volume action at this time comes from international. U.S. will only happen when the ETF gets approved, and they're going to come in a big way. The problem is, if the ETFs are getting approved, that information is going to get out to people in the know, and they're going to slowly be building positions. I'm guessing that's why Bitcoin is relatively strong here recently. These markets in general still stink, but Bitcoin is getting that bid. But I think that probably brings in the bid for everything at some point here. So, and yeah, if the ETFs get pushed off, you know, a big move higher quickly will be slowed up a little bit. But I just think there's value down here. So,
Nate Borelius, or whatever you say, says, haha, we'll all be dead by then. Hey, yeah, so don't worry about that too much. And then Chris says, hello from Canada, boys. Shout out to you, Chris. Shout out to you, Niagara Tony. I still need to get up to Canada to see you.
Craig says, for more fun, let's give away some more Zen.
Hey, now, I don't have Zen to give. We're giving away Zen for this live show, so make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below with your Zen address. But I think I am going to do a little competition on my Twitter. Essentially, what I'm going to do is ask you guys to predict the price of Zen in both USD dollars and Satoshi value for the end of this month. The closest for Sats and for USD will each win 1 Zen. The requirements, you got to leave that in the comment of the tweet, and also you got to follow me on Twitter and retweet it so we can help to grow our Twitter community and our Learn Crypto community. I've not posted anything yet, but definitely keep an eye out for that. I was already kind of thinking about that as another way to continue to grow this community and give back to you guys and let you guys have some fun and see how good you are predicting where the market's going to be in about 3 weeks from now. And then we got Jet in here saying, I signed up for Abra. Is it safe? Yeah, I think Abra is definitely a trusted name, and I think you're okay with signing up for that exchange.
ONT, I'm not sure about. Neo, I would think it's cheap down here. Actually, somebody asked about the chart on CXO. I mean, we're back here at the lows of April. You know, same thing, I guess. I would think oversold here. If you're going to take a shot, this would be the place to do it. But not one of the strongest charts. We like to stay a little bit stronger. Not much to say on the volume. It's all a Q coin, so no other place to trade that. And I don't really have any positions there, so can't say too much. ADA we're fans of here, no doubt.
Yeah, I like some ADA.
We still like our ADA.
And then Ace G says ETC getting destroyed. Well, everything's getting destroyed. Everything else is down 4 or 5%, and ETC is down 3.8%. So it's getting destroyed a little less today than everything else.
The chart in front of you is ONT USD. Not looking very well either. ETC 1484. I am surprised by that weakness.
People are getting too bored waiting around for Coinbase to list it. I'm telling you, I'm just going to continue to mine it and keep buying it up if it keeps going down because I think that's going to be a great for Ethereum Classic. They got a lot of development going on. They got a Coinbase listing, that's for sure. They got Grayscale with traditional investors. I think there's $75 million of institutional money in Ethereum Classic right now with the OTC market over there at Grayscale. And I think that is one that's going to find its way into a lot of these indexes. I think, what is that, Galaxy Digital or whatever the name of that is? I think that is part of what they were talking about as well.
There's the 15-minute Litecoin trying to defend that 76 level. So it's a horror show out there.
Why, oh why must my altcoins all die?
No doubt. Unbelievable.
Elizabeth says, I almost don't want to know.
Digitex, I do not follow.
Yeah, I don't know what Digitex.
Check into that one maybe next time. Digitex.
What else you got? Do we have any more comments, concerns, opinions, any charts, any fundamental questions, or anything that you just think's funny and you got to tell us before you run out of here? Somebody says, do you like Elastos? I don't know a ton about Elastos to give you an honest opinion on that. You said thoughts on WAN and Nano. I like WAN. I like the WAN, ICX, and Aeon partnership. And I think that with South Korea getting more friendly, ICX is a homebred crypto project. I think that there's some good fundamentals there, and I think that's one that I'm going to continue to hold on to. And I like all three of those working together with what they got going on. WAN chain kind of shot itself in the foot. That thing was, everybody was talking about WAN. It was harped. It was hyped. It was going to change, revolutionize cryptocurrencies. And then it took them 6 months too long to get listed on an actual exchange. There went the hype. And then the bear market obviously has brought that down. So, I mean, a lot of these are testing all-time lows, not just lows, all-time lows. So if it's one that you fundamentally like and you can buy it at an all-time low, I think that's a pretty decent opportunity. I don't think we're going to start seeing projects unless there's scams going till zero until at least one more market cycle. That's just my opinion.
Here's a Steam 4 hour. I mean, we're down here going to new lows, as you, I'm sure, know. I mean, that looks like a Bitcoin chart coming into late June. So, you know, I probably would dollar cost average some if you can. If we get this next rally, again, if some of these coins don't move on the next move in Bitcoin, then you got to be careful with them. But they're down so far, hard to say now. Bitcoin sitting here at 7,480, 7,500.
Chris wants to know if anyone from Canada uses CoinSmart. Niagara Tony, have you heard of that if you're still in here? Ace G says the house of cards is crumbling. I still feel all right. I've been in here since much lower prices. No, not everybody has, and that's why we continue to try to come on here to help you guys. Try to get you guys mining, staking, noding. That way you can generate some passive income in the time of bear markets. And I actually did a full video on that as well. So, you know, that's what we try to preach. You know, a lot of your portfolio needs to be in these larger caps that aren't getting hit as hard. Also in coins that can generate some kind of passive income to offset the losses in both Satoshi and USD value.
And CND, man, that was back when it had, that was Palm Beach run up. I believe that spike.
Yep. Still has a long-term, I don't want to give away too much stuff, but still has a long-term hodl on that for buy up to 60 cents or something crazy like that.
Might want to own a little here then.
If anything with CND, if you're a holder of CND and you do not use their app, like I use it, it's on my iOS. I wish I had more time to do it. But what you do is it's a predictive market. So they'll be like, what are the odds of Bitcoin going to 8,000? And you put all these prices in. And then once the question is over, you get rated and you earn points for anything you answered correctly. So if you got it right, then every month I actually get an email and say, hey, this X amount of Ether was sent to your address. Thanks for your input. You earned 300 points and earned 0.01 Ethereum. So, I mean, you can actually make money off of participating in the CND network, and that's why I think it's pretty interesting. So if you're a hodler of that and you're not participating actively and being an analyst on their platform, you're missing out.
ICX, 89 cents. Interesting. Not one I have.
That one's one that's about to make the all-time low.
No doubt. Boy. I'm glad I've mostly stayed overweight at Bitcoin because, damn, there's lots of ways you can make some mistakes. On some, what we thought were some pretty good coins people talking about.
What else we got? Jet said, did you look at Apollo yet? Not deeply. I will get to that this weekend and let you know. I plan on finishing up the cryptocurrency for beginner crypto course this weekend, as well as do some reviews and keep the ball rolling over here to continue to provide as much information as possible for you guys. Jet said he bought some more. Is that OX, District OX, or ZRX? I like ZRX better than District OX.
To me here still, I mean, stay with the Bitcoin. You know, we all have some Litecoin, Ethereum, etc. Stay with that ZRX, XLM, ADA, Digibyte. What else? Maybe throw a little EOS in now. I mean, some of those coins are still trying to buck this downtrend, I think, pretty well. Which they should respond to the upside much quicker on the way up. Right, Taj, you were saying a buck on that ICX, so I will give you a shout out on that. Just don't talk about Bitcoin going down.
And then I guess before we get out of here, Wonderful Blocks wants you to take a look at XRP.
Can't do that.
Chris says, any news from the Neo AMA on Reddit? No, I know they did a video, but a lot of the videos were in Chinese, actually. So I was waiting for somebody to put captions on it. I think somebody did put captions on it, but obviously it was only a couple hours ago, and I didn't have a chance to watch that before prepping for the live show. So I'll take a look at that. Let's see what kind of questions they got answered. I know they did announce that they have a bunch of hackathons and people building some games, etc., on top of their blockchain. And they also have some ICOs coming soon, I believe, as well, which we know that creates network effect and should help that price rebound once we get going in this bull market.
I'd say XRP is doing what it did back down there at 25 when it was doing nothing. And when that got alive, it came alive. So it could easily come down here and take out the previous lows and spring all of that, which I'd have no problem with. But I would think if XRP wakes up tonight, next few days, and starts to shake out all these lows, then I would think that'd be one to nibble on. So what are you talking about? It's just like anything below 42 cents starts to bring in probably some selling. So anything down 41, 40, I guess I'd take a flyer that they're shaking everybody out and it'll come right back. The safe bet would be let it rally back up to the middle of the trading range and then buy a pullback. But
shout out to Ryan for subscribing. Appreciate that. And welcome to the Learn Crypto community. All right. I think that's about all we got. We had our poll, and obviously you guys are here to see me and not Todd from that poll.
Right.
We talked about some bear views on the market, what we agree with, what we disagree with, how much stuff XLM has coming on the horizon, as well as some other various topics. We hope that you guys got all of your questions answered. Hope you had some fun, and we will see you here again soon, live on Learn Crypto. But keep an eye out for some pre-recorded videos going into this weekend, as well as Todd popping on, updating you on the charts. And we may or may not have an interview with the one and only John McAfee coming up soon. I am talking to his secretary, so no promises there, but that is one that could be pretty interesting. You know, he's a genius, a comedian. You don't know whether to take him serious or not, but he always provides great insight and information for this cryptocurrency ecosystem, and I think that would be awesome to have the ability to have him here on Learn
Right,
Crypto.
we're going to a quick hot dog eating contest too, right? I mean, just
we'll have the plate of hot dogs out here and everything.
Right. I think you nibble on Made here, yes, Ace G. I think it's just one maybe you could throw in your portfolio. I think it's only like Polo really for myself, so I don't really own hardly any of it for real. Don't have a lot of money at Polo.
Chris says, "What's he gonna shill?" I don't know. I'm gonna ask some hard questions about his BitFi hardware wallet. He has a phone prototype coming out, so I'm gonna get into all that, see what he has to say for it, and we can create some decent opinions on whether we would be buying any of those projects. And obviously, I gotta ask him what his top 3 coins are. Who knows? It'll be awesome to have it on here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Take a look in the description below to see everything we offer outside of YouTube. And don't forget, if you like free coins, all you have to do is hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment in the comment section below with your Zencash wallet address. And we just love giving away all of our money, even while it's bleeding. Just giving it away. So until next time, stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrencies right here on Learn Crypto.
Peace out.
Oh, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck, everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.